How did you get ready for the date? Where do we even start? No one is prepared for a date. You never know what's going to happen. You get ready and you just do it. There's another talk that's how to mentally and emotionally prepare. Who knows how they're going to respond? Similar to playing a sport, during the game, I have no idea what's going to happen. I just know that I'm as ready as I can be. I have to stick to a game plan and respond. Sometimes I have to give up the game plan. I have to mix spontaneity in there. Asking. How do you ask somebody to go out on a date? How you ask is important. Think through how you ask. How would you want to be asked? I'd like to take you out for lunch to this place this weekend. What time do you have available? I'd like to meet you in person at a coffee shop. I like this place and could do Saturday. Would that work for you? I don't really like the indirect asking. Would you like to go out for coffee sometime? Be direct. Go for what you want, being respectful of the other person. When you're asking, be aware of what you're trying to do. Are you trying to plant the seed that you're an interesting person? Do you have an exciting life? Are you a leader? Can you connect emotionally? Are you ambitious? Do you turn her on? Are you a protector? Those are a few things you're likely trying to convey, but don't realize it. She is looking for that, but doesn't always know that. We are often unconscious of our motivation. Those things usually will make her interested in you and increase the odds of a successful meeting with her. I don't think you need those before you meet her, but think about your brand. What's your brand? Who are you? Who are you asking? Not to manipulate, but be strategic, be aware, be consistent. Are you pretending to be cool, but you're not really cool? Are you pretending to be young and you're not? Are you pretending to be an athlete and you're not? Be you and you'll attract your people. Pretending to be someone else attracts people who will be less likely to like you. Once they get to know the real you, will they actually like you? What are you signaling with the words that you choose? What are you signaling with where you're going? High-end, dive bar, considering your partner or yourself? What's the dress code signaling? Be intentional, be informed. What are you signaling with when you're going and why you're going? Going out at night's different than coffee. Why? Why are you going at night? Why are you going midday? Do you have a reason, or are you just winging it? If you're sending a message, are you aware of the message that you are sending? Put some thought into it. Have a few options available in your head. I'm literally asking you to think it through. If you were interested today in meeting somebody for the first time, where would you prefer to meet? Think it through ahead of time. Ask yourself, why there? Why that time of day? What would I wear and why? How would I prepare myself? Literally walk yourself through it, from the shaving, shower, to the clothes you choose, deodorant, cologne, perfume, etc. Are you going to check your eyebrows to see if they're unruly? Your ear hair, nose hair are tame? Your fingernails are trimmed and clean? Brush your teeth? Oh my goodness, the amount of complaints about bad breath. Have a breath mint handy for after dinner. The basic hygiene stuff that women complain about should be part of the preparation for a date. Put lotion on your hands, elbows, face after your shower. Imagine it's a job interview. Your job is to be prepared. They're going to ask you questions, you ask them questions. Don't bring a list of your questions with you. Many people offer coffee and drinks as the only options, so think about this. I'm going to ask you questions, you're going to ask me questions, it's going to be over coffee or drinks. Let's get creative. Where do you feel most at home? Don't do it at your house or apartment. That doesn't feel safe for 99.9% of people. Consider her, consider him. Would she feel comfortable where you asked her to go? Would he? Think about all the options that are available if you were to date. Doesn't mean you have to go there, but think about your options, and if you were on the receiving end, put yourself in the other person's shoes. Which of those options would you find most palatable? Someone asked me to go to Seabreeze, an amusement park. It was the best first date of my life. It was hysterical. We laughed our butts off. It was so much fun. Wouldn't do it again, but holy cow, is that fun. And the part that no one wants to talk about. This is a competition. You are competing for their attention. Play to your strengths. Is what you're offering attractive to them? How do you say hi to the person? Fist bump, handshake, hug? Do you talk about it first? Do you bring flowers? What do people talk about at a meet and greet, and why? Well, remember to actively look for the red flags. That's what you're doing first. Confirmation bias will make you avoid the red flags. You want to confirm that this is a good decision to meet this person. It's a screening, assessing the relationship potential. You're sorting them, they're sorting you. It's not rejection, but it doesn't always feel good. We don't like hurting people, and the potential is there depending on how you approach it. What's your perspective? Are you expecting to date everyone that you meet and greet? That's not realistic. Are you telling yourself that you did something wrong if the person says it's not a love connection? Are you thankful that you both arrived at this conclusion at this point and can move on? Hurts to be told later. Be honest with them as soon as either person knows. Who pays and why? If you're going to a high-end dinner and you just met, how do you decide that? Do you pay for the meal and the drinks? Is it Dutch? Talk about it. Talk about talking about it, because you get such useful information in processing. I've heard women in my office say that they want to go Dutch. If they have their meal paid for them, they feel obligated. Some guys say, hey, I paid for your dinner, you have to be sexual with me. They don't want to owe them anything. No strings attached is a better feeling. So you might stay with coffee, keep it easygoing. Similarly, many women expect the guy to pay. There's no one size fits all. Talk about it. Ask yourself afterwards what went well and poorly. What are the next steps for you to grow and improve? Some guys will fight back when they hear no, or they'll pout, or they'll sulk. I wouldn't suggest that. It doesn't say that women always do it well either. They're saving face, the ego gets in the way. Imagine you're going out with someone and they're not fully separated. Can you go out in public? Or imagine that somebody is a big personality in the area. Could be tricky. Other people want to be in public because they have fear of the initial date, that serial killer thing. Do you walk her to the car afterwards? Do you open the door for her? Do you kiss goodbye, hug goodbye, fist bump, handshake? How do you say goodbye, whether there's been a connection or not? Gotta think it through. So those are the friction points. Talk it through, feel your feelings, or be quiet about it and there are feelings. I think there should be a group or a panel that helps us determine when we're ready to go out on a date, emotionally, psychologically, but also maturity. The same panel would determine if you're ready to go out the door. If you don't have a friend group like this, do a checklist. Okay, you can go out now. How do you emotionally prepare? Play it through in your head. That's a sports psychology technique. Visualize what's going to happen, what you anticipate is going to happen. Feel the feelings. Visualize it, feel the feelings. What if they say, I'm not interested, it's not a love connection, hey, it's not a good fit? Prep yourself for that. Also prep yourself for it being a good fit. If you want to, you have the option of playing it through any way you want. Do it multiple times and you get ready for yourself. How do you respond? Imagine that someone tells you it's not a fit. How do you respond? If you prepare for it ahead of time, it tends to land more easily because you're prepared. I appreciate you being direct about this. I wish you the best. Prepare for things that are challenging, as well as for things that are good. You could ask, why? When someone rejects you or says we're not a good fit. I wouldn't suggest it, but you could ask. Some people say, oh, I don't have butterflies, so it's not a good fit. I think that's a bad idea. Some people say, let's be friends, but let's be honest, we're not really here to be friends, we're here to date. Hey, you're not my type. There's nothing wrong with not being somebody's type. Can the person tell you ahead of time, yeah, I don't feel into it, I'm just not into it. Do you kiss on the first date? Do you make out for hours and hours? Do you have sex? Some people might feel comfortable, some not so much. One size does not fit all. So what if she gets aroused and likes a sensation but doesn't feel connected and doesn't want to have sex or go beyond? You don't really know each other yet. Try this. Make it about the emotional connection rather than sex, especially the first few dates. You might spook her or freak her out or freak him out. Each person's different. Talk about it. It's easy to misread, jump to conclusion, and then regret it the next day. Kissing and touching does feel good. Liking it and wanting it are not the same thing. There's a book called Come As You Are, and it talked about responsive desire. Liking versus wanting, big difference. If you're going that far in the first date, I'm just going to tell you from a counseling standpoint, you're skipping some developmental stages. Usually not good for long-term success. So the fear is that the person isn't able to hit the brakes or just slow down. And what you're doing is reassuring them that you do know how to slow down and you're not just using them for sex. Alright, so are you prepared better? Well, yeah. And you know that one size doesn't fit all. Talk about it. You know that there are options. Everyone does it a little bit differently. Use your words, talk it through.